Hey friends, what's up? Philip here with Points of Philip, and I'm here because I'm really excited about the credit card meetup in Puerto Rico in November. And so that's coming up in a couple of weeks. And I started sitting down and I was like, I wanted to think about and plan what needs to go in my credit card wallet in order to be able to make this trip the most effective it can be. And so I started thinking about what I wanted, and I'm going to change it a little bit from my everyday wallet. So I think that's important to note. So I started thinking specifically how I'm traveling and what I'm planning on doing when I'm there. And so that's kind of going to be a significant factor in what actually gets added to my wallet. So let's get into the first card, and that's actually going to be my Hilton Aspire card. So my Hilton Aspire card, first of all, I've had it for over a year now. I recently decided to keep it. And this card is kind of crazy. And the reason I want to have it is, first of all, I'm going to actually be staying in 2 hotels. And the reason why is because my target hotel, the Hilton Carib, is actually sold out for the first 2 nights that I'm going to be there. My wife and I are going to be flying down on Friday. And they're going to be flying back on a Tuesday. And so the Friday night and the Saturday night are all sold out at the Hilton Hotel Carib. And so we're actually going to be staying at the Hilton or the Hilton Garden Inn just across the bay there. And so my wife and I, first of all, we're going to be paying for, are staying at the Hilton Garden Inn. And then we're going to be moving to the Hilton Carib. And so we're kind of looking forward to being able to experience a couple different ways of doing things. And we're really excited, too, about the diamond status that this card gives us. And so we'll have free food and beverage credits and things like that. And so that's really exciting for us. But what's most exciting is that we're able to use the Hilton Aspire, the airline credit for the airline fees, and so that I didn't have to pay for that at all, which was really nice. But we're also going to use the Hilton Resort credit at the Hilton Carib. And so essentially, basically, any incidentals are going to go on this card. Anything that we actually eat on property is going to go on this card. And that's going to go towards my $200 for this 6 months. And so we're basically going to be going free because we're paying for points for the Hilton Carib, and then we're actually paying for points for the Hilton Garden Inn. And so this is kind of a great opportunity to have kind of as close to an even trip as possible, because anything that we do put at that property will actually go on this card, and then we'll get 34 points per dollar on that purchase with Hilton, and then it will be reimbursed through the resort credit. So we're very excited about that option. So that's one of the things one of the reasons why I'm very excited about having the Hilton Aspire card in my wallet. Now, the next question is how I'm getting there. And so we're in a weird position being in Orlando. So first of all, everyone flies to Orlando, so we have usually a lot of options. But my wife and I, what we noticed is that if we're flying with Delta, or if we're flying with American or any of the other kind of legacy carriers, you are kind of looking at having to fly north to Atlanta, to Charlotte, maybe even to JFK, and then flying back down. And so while we do have a lot of points with Delta, we have a lot of American Express points, we decided that we're actually going to fly Southwest. And the reason why we're going to fly Southwest is that we are actually going to be flying directly with no stops. And so it's going to be about 2.5 to 3 hours from Orlando to San Juan. And so that trip is probably going to be the easiest way to make that trip. And so one of the things to note about Southwest in Orlando is that most of the Southwest fly out of the terminal that actually doesn't have a lounge in Orlando, so probably won't be expecting to use the lounge very much, which is sad, but it is what it is. But what I do get, because I have the Southwest Priority Card, is we get 4 upgraded boardings through the end of the year. And so my wife and I are going to have upgraded boardings, both upgraded boardings on the way out and then upgraded boardings on the way back, which means that we're going to be in a 1 through 15 on the A list. And so we get to be one of the first few people on the plane, which we're kind of excited about, because on the off chance that this plane actually has those extended legroom seats that everyone's been talking about, then we're most likely to be able to actually get those seats. And so we're kind of excited about maybe seeing what's going on with Southwest and kind of figuring out how to make it, and we'll actually be evaluating whether or not this card makes sense to carry moving forward, right? Because if we don't like those seats, then, well, why hold the card, And so that's going to be interesting. So I'm going to hold this card because another reason to hold it is, first of all, I put the tax and fees on the Aspire card, but if I wanted to buy, say, Wi-Fi or something like that, I get 25% off all in-flight purchases with my Southwest card. And so having that's going to be a good idea. And so that is next up on my list. Now, the other card that I'm going to be bringing is my American Express Gold card. And so this is one of the cards that never leaves my wallet. And that's because 4X back on grocery stores and dining is kind of the GOAT. And so this is my card that I keep everywhere. In addition to that, I also like having it because the Uber credit can be helpful. So my wife and I, we have two gold cards and a platinum card that give us Uber credits. And so we get $35 every month. And so we actually might be using that to get from the airport to our hotel. And at least, the first trip will be mostly taken care of. At least that's usually what happens. And so we really love the gold card that has $325 annual fee. It has a bunch of different credits. So we have $240 in credits for dining and then for Uber cash. And then we also get $100 in Resi credits. And then we also get $84 in Dunkin' Donuts credits as well. And so that's the next one on my list. And so the next one here is going to be my platinum card. So I don't actually foresee this getting a lot of use, but I do actually want to carry it because, well, I'm sure literally all the creators with a platinum card will be carrying this particular card. And so I can imagine there being photo opportunities. So that's kind of why that's there. But on the off chance my wife and I get the hankering to actually plan out a trip and we want to be able to, pay for our tax and fees with a card, I'm definitely going to be doing that with the platinum card because, again, that gets 5x directly with airlines. And so that's really, really important. All right, so we're next going to talk about the next couple cards. So I'm going to be next up on my list is the American Express Blue Business Plus. Now, this one is 2x points per dollar, up to $50,000 in spend, and then it's 1x on everything else. And so this is a solid card, and the only thing that I actually have decided to use this card is actual business expenses. And so I keep this on me at all times in case there's a vendor that reaches out that offers something that's interesting, and I want to be able to move on that. This actually is my highest credit limit with American Express. It's got about $27,000 in available credit. And so that's kind of a big deal for me as well. So like if there's something that I need to buy for my business, I can have that out and it goes directly into my tax app. And so like basically all that stuff, everything that gets put on this card immediately gets kind of flagged as a business expense with my taxes, and so that's kind of really nice too. And so I'm always going to carry that just because that is where my business expenses live. Now, I'm also going to carry as a backup setup my Capital One Duo. So I have my Capital One Saver and my Venture card. So the Venture card gets me 2x on all purchases, no caps, no limits, costs me $95 a year, and the Saver card gets me 3x back on dining, groceries, and then entertainment. And so this one could be interesting. So if I was interested in, say, going to a concert, or if I was interested in going to, kind of any sort of thing that might code as entertainment, I'm probably going to be using my Saver card because I really want to get 3% back on that purchase. And so just having that is really good. Also, no foreign transaction fees. We're going to Puerto Rico, so it probably doesn't matter. But, that's kind of a big deal to me. So being able to have, really good cards to use and kind of a backup. Let's say if someone doesn't take my gold card, then I can just whip out my Saver card and I'm still earning decent points with decent rates. And so that's kind of a big deal for me. All right, my next card is actually going to be my Robinhood Gold card. And my Robinhood Gold card I'm going to bringing with me because it's kind of my third backup, if you will. It earns 3% cash back on everything, no foreign transaction fees. It's a Visa card. If I want to just bring something with me, maybe to the beach or something where like I don't really want to have to worry about whether or not I can pay for something or like have a backup, then this is probably going to be a good option for me just to have in my pocket. And so the Robinhood Gold card is really solid. It has a $50 annual fee for a Robinhood Gold card in order to be able to hold the card, and then, kind of 3% cash back without a current limit so far. So that's my wallet, but I'm actually going to open up the next slot to you guys. There's one more slot in my wallet that I haven't filled And I'm curious to hear what you guys would actually use it for. And so if I have the card or can get the card, I will. But what I want to see is you guys voting in the comment section below which card you think I should be bringing with me in my wallet. And so I'll actually show a picture whenever I do go on my trip. I'll take a picture of me with whatever that card is that wins, if I have it or can get it. And then, we'll see what happens. But anyway, let me know what card I should be bringing with me. And it probably will be brought with me if I have it. Anyway, thanks again so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys until next time. Bye.